Alright, I am so pumped up for this problem, and I'm not even going on any caffeine or anything. Let's do this. The survey of a recent high school graduates regarding literature that they studied during their high school career yielded the following information. 492 read Gone with the Wind, 914 read Moby Dick, 604 read Lord of the Flies, 126 read all three, 46 read none, 89 read only Lord of the Flies, 170 read Lord of the Flies and Gone with the Wind, and 200 read Gone with the Wind and Moby Dick, but not Lord of the Flies. What percent of recent graduates read exactly one book? Round your answer to the nearest tenth if necessary. Okay, this is a very loaded problem, and this one's fun. I really get into this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill in all these question marks first of all, and then we want to add up the exactly one book. So this guy plus this guy plus this guy, we'll add them all up, and we'll divide that by all these question marks, or well, their respective values, all added up total. Okay, we're going to divide by all that, and that's going to give it, and then multiply by 100, and that's going to give us our percent. But fine, this one's tricky. Okay, so let's just kind of work our way through this. Start with, let's see if we can figure out what this guy is first. I always try to find out what the center is. So who read all three? There we go. 126 people did that. So I'll put in 126. Let's see if I can expand this out. There we go. Okay, what else do we know? 89. Well, let's see if we can work with a 200 here. Gone with the Wind and Moby Dick, but not Lord of the Flies. So Gone with the Wind and Moby Dick, but not Lord of the Flies. That's this one right here, isn't it? Gone with the Wind and Moby Dick, but not Lord of the Flies. So yeah, this number right here is given to us. 200. So yeah, just make sure to read it carefully as you go. Take your time, no distractions, even though I've got a distraction outside with the construction going on. Let's kind of keep going here. 170 read Lord of the Flies and Gone with the Wind. So here's Lord of the Flies, here's Gone with the Wind. It'd be these two added together, right? So give me a second. Let me see if I can find a calculator. I could do this in my head, but honestly, this problem is so involved that I don't trust my brain to do that. So hang on just a second. Alright, I actually pulled up a spreadsheet here to see if this helps us so I can be nice and visual with this, right? As transparent as I can be. So where I left off was at the 170 for Lord of the Flies and Gone with the Wind. So this whole thing here needs to add up to 170, which means if I take 170 minus 126, that'll give me this number, right? And I've kind of got that going on over here in my little spreadsheet. So 170 minus 126, it's going to be 44. So I'll enter in 44. Expand that so we can see it better. Alright, that takes care of the 170. Let's just keep going. 89 read only Lord of the Flies. Well, that's easy. That's this guy right here, 89. This a little bigger so you can see it. Okay. 89 read Lord of the Flies. What else do we got? 46 read none. That's this one up here. Shame on them. Those are good books there. They should be reading. Especially Lord of the Flies. That's a great one. Alright, 126 read all three. We got that covered. 604 read Lord of the Flies. Alright, here's Lord of the Flies. All of this added up needs to be 604 or 604. So let me pause just for a minute while I get this set up, okay? Alright, I'm set up now. 604 read Lord of the Flies, so I'm going to subtract off 89, subtract off 44, subtract off 126. My result will be this number right here, right? These guys all added up needs to be 604 for Lord of the Flies. I've got them. So that means I've got 345 right here. Alright, so that's that guy. Now let's go over here to 914 red Moby Dick. So adding these guys all together will give me 914. So if I took 914 minus 345 minus 126 minus 200, that'll give me this result, right? Hang tight just for a sec. Let me get set up. I am now set up. 914 red Moby Dick. So I'll take 914 minus 345 minus 126 minus 200, and that'll give me this question mark right here. So I've got my work shown right here. Looks like we're doing 243 people right here. Only red Moby Dick. Wow, he's pretty popular. Why is this all of a sudden popping up? Alright. Next victim. So that was the Moby Dick one. So 494 red Gone with the Wind. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'll take 494 minus 200 minus 126 minus 44. That'll give me my question mark. Hang tight. Alright, so 494 minus 44 minus 126 minus 200 gives me this question mark. I've got the work right here. And boom, 124 is the number I'm coming up with. So let me enter that 124 in here. Alright, is that all I've got? Yeah, that gives me all the information. Notice I've got everything filled in here. Now, what I need to do is, it says what percent of the recent graduates read exactly one book. So I need to add 89, 124, and 243 together. And it's a percentage of all these numbers added together. So I'm going to take 89 plus 124 plus 243, add that up, get an answer, and divide that by all these numbers added together. Give me just a second to get set up for that, okay? Okay, I think I've got it. So we have exactly one book. So it's 89 plus 124 plus 243. You add those three numbers up, 89 plus 124 plus 243, you're going to get 456 right there, okay? Now, adding all that, we have to divide that by the total number of high school graduates. So the guys that didn't read any books, the guys that just read Moby Dick, just read Lord of the Flies, just read Gone with the Wind, and any combinations of the three. So in other words, 46 plus 243 plus 345 plus 126 plus 200 plus 89 plus 44 plus 124. It's all listed right there. Hopefully I did the calculations correctly. When you add them up, you're going to get 1,217. Now, let me pull this guy up a little bit here so you can see what I'm doing here. What I did was I took, this is Excel that I did all this in, okay? So I took my people that read exactly one book. That was this guy. That's cell A1, right? A1, which is 456. Divide that by 1,217. That's cell A2 there. And I'm going to get 0.374. So as a decimal, that's what that is. As a percent, we're talking 37 point, round it to the nearest tenth, so 37.5%, right? If we took that multiplied by 100, and then round to the nearest tenth, so 37.5%, moment of truth, here we go. Boom! Nailed it. As you can see, that is a hard problem to work, all right? It took that's a 9-minute video right there. So I'm going to close this and move on to the next rest of the stuff.